How soon is it going to be before you're done? Because on several occasions, it's almost like you're alluding to you only have but so many fights left. You're looking to walk away from the game.
Will Tank Davis make the necessary adjustments to defeat Lamont Roach in the rematch? Or is this a case of a fighter having another fighter's number? We can go back in the history of boxing.
This brother Lamont Roach can fight. And he's beautiful defensively as well. And seemed completely unfazed and undeterred by Tank Davis.
Stephen A. Smith tells Gervonta Davis to quit right away because a repeat with Lamont Roach is dangerous. Davis has talked about quitting in the past, but he hasn't done it yet. Because he thinks the time is right, Smith tells Davis that he should protect his reputation and put his health first.
You only have but so many fights left. You're looking to walk away from the game. How close are you to that, being undefeated and unblemished with some big fights out there for you to get?
It's close for sure. It just, I don't know. It's a little draining. I just want to step back for a little bit and just focus on me personally. You know, I feel like I've been doing this for some time now, and I just want to give myself a break and focus on just me as a human being, me as a father, me as a son, and things like that, and that nature.
Stephen A. Smith said that Gervonta Davis wants this rematch to prove himself and quiet people who didn't believe in him after their first fight. Davis still has choices before he retires, but his choice to fight Lamont Roach again shows how much he wants to keep his reputation alive. Davis is set on settling the score by going back into the ring, and it's clear that he wants to clear up any questions that people still have about their last fight.
Undefeated who gets in a fight like that finds himself with a majority draw with people questioning whether or not he legitimately won. It's usually the promoters and the audience that's calling for a rematch. Gervonta Davis, who had been alluding to retirement, immediately said, let's do it again. Let's get it going. No problem at all. I give him credit for that. Because guess what? I wanted to see Gervonta Davis versus Shakur Stevenson. I wanted to see him against Vitaly Lomachenko. I wanted to see him against Ryan Garcia in a rematch. I wanted to see him against Teofimo Lopez. Ladies and gentlemen, none of them deserved a shot ahead of a rematch for Lamont Roach. None of them. And check out Lamont Roach's tweets. I don't know. He said, F you mean pushing my contract already signed and set for the immediate rematch because you put that in there just in case you lost. Only reason we don't fight is because you scared. Gervonta Davis comes back 2 hours later and say no more. I'm pushing for the rematch. This is what we love when it comes to boxing. This is what we love to see.
People all over the world who like boxing are very excited about the fight between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach. This fight, which could happen in August, has already become one of the most interesting events of the year. They didn't answer many questions for fans after their first meeting. Now everyone is looking forward to seeing what happens when the two fighters come back to the ring. The rematch is an event that can't be missed because of all the predictions, arguments, and harsh comments that have been made on social media, sports shows, and fan forums.
What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports, back again with another one. We got a date that Tank Davis and Lamont Roach will be fighting on. We don't have a venue, we don't have a location, but I do have a date. The fight is now being penciled in to take place on August 16th. So as we know, the original date was supposed to be July the 19th. I think the day before that, man, that's not even the original date. That's probably the second to the original date. I think the original date actually was supposed to be maybe in May, but then it got pushed back to, I don't know, man. Whatever the case is, man, this fight has been rumored to take place on 2 previous dates, but now it's being penciled in to take place on August 16th. It's going down in the summer of 2025. Tank Davis will be looking to get the win over Lamont Roach. Unlike the first fight, which I thought he lost.
When he talked about Lamont Roach's performance in the first fight, Stephen A. Smith, who is known for being honest and insightful in his sports writing, didn't hold back. He complimented Roach on how focused and calm he was during the game. Smith says that Roach did something that had never been done before and made Gervonta Davis kneel. It was just that one event that changed how fans and professionals saw Roach. Smith said it was amazing to see a boxer that many had given up on make such a strong statement against someone as feared as Tank.
What I didn't know is that once Lamont Roach stepped into the ring, he would be the bigger fighter. What I didn't know is that once he was in the ring and he looked like the bigger fighter, he fought like the bigger fighter because, ladies and gentlemen, from opening bell, he walked right to Gervonta Davis. Walked right to him and stayed in his face all night long. If he backed up at all, ladies and gentlemen, it was 5% of the time. The other 95% of the time, he walked right to Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis caught him with some good shots. He took it and then gave it back. Body punches, counter punches, left hook, straight right. This brother Lamont Roach can fight. And he's beautiful defensively as well. And seemed completely unfazed and undeterred by Tank Davis, a knockout artist.
Roy Jones Jr., one of the smartest people in boxing, shared his thoughts on Lamont Roach's growth as a fighter. He said Roach has always had the skills. It's simple. People hadn't thought about it enough. Jones, who has followed Roach for a long time, said that his game against Davis was just a reminder of what he already knew. Roach is a member of the top. For those who thought Roach was different, Jones warned them that his performance against Tank only supported the long-held belief that he had great timing, technical skill, and battle IQ.
A great formidable opponent. Tomorrow Tank gonna test his tank and see how good he is in the late round.
Presumably, Tank is supposed to, win this fight. This is a fight that there's not a lot of doubt about him coming out victorious in. So the talk shifts, and we got to know, Roy, from your perspective, Tank Shakur, when you think about that fight being a potential fight this year, how do you see it going?
I ain't gonna really think about that yet because I'm waiting after he finishes his fight with Roach. Roach is not just your average everyday opponent. Roach is a person who knows Tank, who's been around Tank his whole life. This is a different fight. You can't put Roach to the side like that. I'm sorry. Now, I'm not saying that he's gonna win the fight. I don't know that, but Roach cannot be this underrated like that. You understand? You gotta understand that Roach came from basically the same ecosystem as Tank came from. Roach is a very formidable opponent. So I'm not gonna talk about none of that till we get by Roach, because what I'm telling you about the other stuff don't really mean nothing right now.
Okay, let me ask you this, because this did happen.
I'm feeling good always. How you doing?
I'm always good. You're a special fighter. Tank's a special fighter. What do you like about him? What makes him different?
I like that when Tank come to fight, Tank come to knock you out. Tank don't come to just beat you by decision. He come to take you out. He come to try to get the job done best way he can. And he loves to come there and entertain the fans. He's not there to play around. He's trying to smoke you. And that's what life's supposed to be about.
Several psychological tricks that Gervonta Davis used to get ready for the repeat have been picked up by outsiders. Tank's cryptic social media posts, subtle jabs, and conversations make it look like they are using mind tricks to get an edge before they even step into the ring. Supporters and experts believe that these moves are meant to make Roach less sure of himself and less able to focus.
Lamont is signed and ready to go for the rematch, correct?
We signed, still deliver.
Y'all Tank plays so many head games, it's not even funny. Let me tell you something, bro. Lamont Roach has never been this big of a fighter before. Everyone knows Lamont Roach now. So he could be reaping the benefits of just enjoying his status of having that draw with Tank, while Tank is the one with the eye of the tiger. Tank is probably in the gym training his ass off and then sign the contract like, all right, we got to fight when? June. Oh, shit! Let's hurry up and dash your ass. Sugar Ray Leonard did that to Roberto Duran. Duran was told that he had a fight in a couple weeks, and he was like, dude, I'm 190 pounds in Panama, which is why Roberto Duran was out of shape in the No Mas fight and was like, no mas. So Tank could be over there working, sign the contract in 3 weeks, and all of a sudden Lamont Roach got to put a training camp together.
Gervonta Davis has hired a new trainer to help him get ready for the repeat. This is a big change for his team. Fans are wondering if Tank is trying to change how he fights or fix mistakes from the last fight because of this choice. The new teacher has a different point of view and may focus on making Davis better at timing, tempo, and defense, all of which were questioned during the last fight. This shows that Davis is giving the rematch a lot of thought and plans to work on the key areas where Roach might have done better than him.
Yo, what's going on, fight fans? Check it out. It looks like Gervonta Davis has a new coach. Now, this is Coach Mustafa. He's a well-known coach down in the Atlanta area, and it looks like he's starting to train with him. I know he has that upcoming rematch coming up. It looks like it's slated for June. Now, this coach is known for his working on timing, precision, accuracy. Those are some of the things that this coach is well known for. He's also been training Tevin Farmer for his past 2 fights. Now, what does this mean for Tank? Is he leaving Coach Kyle and Coach Kenny, or adding Coach Mustafa to the team? Is it smart to switch trainers so close to a fight? Let me know what y'all think down in the comments below.
Coach Bernie gave Davis a straightforward grade on his effort. He scolded Tank in public for not having as much heart and energy as Roach did. Bernie thought Davis looked like a boxer who was more interested in making it through the rounds than in winning. However, Roach started shooting and fought each round as if it were the last one. A champion of Tank's caliber should have given a defining performance, but instead he left the crowd wondering if he still had the fire in him. Bernie told us.
Documentary, but he did good, Lamont Roach. But only thing, like I say, if he gonna go back and wish he threw his hands more, he might start getting mad at himself and realize that he when he watches the fight, it feels good to hear everybody say that, but when you go watch the fight and you realize, I let him slide too much. Like even the last round, he's standing there posing, looking at the man like and then he got caught with a jab. That wasn't good.
So, you talked about the takeaways of how Lamont could be better in the rematch. And you're the second person that alluded to that. Tell me, what do you see in Lamont in the rematch that he could be more successful? And also Tank, he added Barry, into the lead position. I don't know do you feel like if that had anything to do with the directioning of it? Because we did hear in the post press conference too, Tank saying that he could have pushed the gas more. He should have, he said. So what's your take on that?
Exactly. He's a champion. He got to defend his title. He like I said, they both was looking at each other. And then finally, after look, Tank will be the one to throw the first punch. He felt like he wanted to retain his title. Lamont Roach felt like he was just happy to be there and get the success.
Lamont Roach is more hungry than ever as he gets ready for the second fight. He thinks that too many fans and experts still don't believe in his skills and that the first fight didn't really settle the issue. Roach says that he wants to make sure that there is no room for confusion this time. It is expected that his training camp will be tough, with a focus on improving his tactics and getting in shape. There is a lot at stake for Roach, and he is determined to make a clear statement in the ring to end the fight.
I have to come with it all. I have to do more. Obviously, just to secure the win is doing just enough to get a draw. So I have to push harder. I have to train harder. I have to be more mean. I have to be more physical. I have to do a lot. I have to do everything just a little more. And I think that will definitely put me over the hump. And I'm more than motivated to get back in there, get back in the camp, and work hard so I can secure a victory over a pound for pound fighter, in which I believe that I am myself.
As a rapper and boxing fan, Sauce Walka has made his opinion very clear. He believes Lamont Roach won the first fight. He said that Roach was much better at moving, controlling the ring, and executing than Tank's. Swaka said that real boxing experts, people who really pay attention to the sport, could see Roach's dominance even if the judges didn't. He thinks Roach proved that night that he was the better boxer. So he sees this fight as a chance for Tank to show that he still deserves the attention.
Do you think that they should have counted that point against him? Do you think Lamont Roach won, or do you think it wasn't enough?
It could be considered a rightful draw, but I also lean toward that Lamont Roach won that fight. I believe he won the fight simply because he outclassed the champ. In boxing, you have to do two things to beat the champ. You either got to knock out the champ or completely outclass the champ. But you have to beat the champ. You're not going to just get the win because you survived or you put up a good fight. Bro lost that fight.
Facts.
Like when you really, really know boxing and know boxing for what it really, really is, Tank lost that fight. No matter how much people emotions and feelings are attached to it because Tank is a hero of the hood. The ghetto loved the Tank. Gervonta Davis has been crowned king. My personal opinion, I don't think he should take the rematch, and I think he's already done what you just said. I think off of what he's already accomplished with the draw, he's already in a life-changing situation to where he could change every person around his life forever. He's now what's called a prize fighter, guaranteed. He's now what's also called a A-side fighter right now. But if he does what I like to call the Deontay Wilder and chase the legacy of getting the win, because you thinking from more of 100% on the boxing aspect than the business aspect, which Gervonta Davis has clearly showed everybody, the larger amount of his success is from the business module of the way he does boxing that was being gifted to him through Mayweather and Mayweather Promotions and PBC. But at the end of the day, so and what? That's what he's supposed to do. I'm not mad at Gervonta Davis for that.
Jeff Mayweather, a veteran trainer, was honest about his thoughts and gave a full review of the first fight. He had been a Tank fan for a long time and was shocked by how hard Davis had to work. Jeff said that Roach seemed busier during the fight because he connected with and threw more punches at a steady pace. Jeff agreed that Roach might have won by a small margin because he had better control and a bigger punch. Davis had won a few times. After he said that, the ongoing debate about who really won the first match became more credible.
First decision I think I might have ever seen. I don't know how that's not a knockdown. But anyway, thoughts on the overall fight first, Jeff?
I think that it was a good fight on both sides, and I do think that Roach actually won the fight. I thought he outworked Tank. I thought that he threw more punches than Tank. It seemed like Tank was fighting like he always do. It just seemed like he was just waiting for him to figure out whoever was in front of him like he always do and then go to work. But this time when he went to work, the guy went to work back. So, I mean, he had somebody that was firing back at him the same way.
Yeah. I think the commentators and most of us at home thought, kind of the same thing. You thought Roach would bank some of those early rounds to prepare for the onslaught later. And when it didn't really happen, it was pretty even. We said, well, this is going to be a one-sided fight. But yeah, it never happened. And Roach, through the latter half of the fight actually seemed to do better than the first half.
I thought he did good pretty much all the way through the fight. I mean, there was a few rounds where he didn't do that well, but I mean, I thought he won the fight clearly. I mean, I didn't see Gervonta really the Gervonta that I know. I mean, I'm a big Gervonta fan, but I didn't see none of the Gervonta that I'm used to seeing.
Why do you think that is? Roach was pretty lightly valued coming into the fight, moving up a weight class. It's not somebody that they expected to give him a huge challenge. What do you think it was that Roach presented to Tank that made it so difficult for him?
The one thing is that he fought at the right distance, and he let his hands go, and that's the most important part. That's how you win a fight, by letting your hands go. I mean, Gervonta was sitting back, waiting like he normally does, and then all of a sudden he finishes them. He always finishes opponents, but this time it didn't happen.
As someone who never backs down from a task, Stephen A. Smith admitted that he had been wrong about Lamont Roach. Roach was afraid that the Tank would be too big for him at first because he wasn't very tall, but the fight showed that he was wrong. Roach fought like he was crazy, taking Davis's hard hits and unleashing even more violence in response. Smith said it was clear by the third round that Roach was not only staying up, but also often taking charge of the fight. He said that Roach earned everyone's respect that night. Shakur Stevenson added technical information to the conversation by breaking down Roach's strategy from the point of view of someone who has competed against him. He told them that Roach's plan was good from start to finish and that his defense was especially good. Because Stevenson had fought Roach before, he thought he had what it took. Because of this, he bet on him to win. Even though Tank was fast and strong, Stevenson said that Roach's timing and technique made Tank's usual edge much smaller, which made the battle much closer than most people thought it would be.
Considering you were one of the handful of people to pick Lamont Roach, giving him a tough fight, what do you see the rematch?
I think it's dangerous for him to go back in there and fight Lamont. I think Lamont is a hell of a fighter.
I can see that going left. So he better be on his A game.
What does the rematch look like between Lamont and Gervonta, you think?
I like Lamont in the rematch.
I think you were one of the few that kind of picked Lamont to begin with. Why was that?
I sparred with Lamont. I knew that he was a good fighter. He helped me get ready for the Oscar Valdez fight. And I knew his style with Tank style, what he was going to be able to bring to the table. I knew it. So,
did you really win 20 rounds?
I swear to God on my daughter's life, I won that much money.
How different does a rematch look in your opinion, Shakur? What adjustments do you think we see from both?
Huh?
What adjustments do we see from both in a rematch?
I think I can't tell you game plans. I could be fighting these guys, so I'm gonna keep my secrets to myself. But truthfully, they both good fighters.
Do you think it's a lot different rematch, or do you think it'll be close again?
It's gonna be a hell of a fight.
How did you see Tank in that fight? A lot of people are saying maybe he's just mentally not there. What did you see?
Nah, he was the same Tank. I don't believe that. I don't got no thought in my brain that makes me think that he wasn't the person he been in all of these other fights. I think he was the same person. All this stuff that he going through stuff. I mean, everybody go through stuff. So he's the same fighter. He's gonna be the same fighter throughout his career. So
that's the end of today's movie. Watch out. Until the next time.